I truly don't believe that people realize how crazy this space is about to get. I mean, we just witnessed one of the biggest moves in this space, yet it feels like nobody actually cares. Or maybe they just don't understand how big it actually was. So, in this video, I really want to address just how positioned Ripple is to completely take over now that all of the obstacles around us are starting to fall down. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Let's dive on in to this post here from Smoke Dog, because this is a quoted post where we saw SAB 121 completely repealed, opening up the floodgates for banks and institutions. We have here, institutional investors are about to flood the market, and what you haven't been paying attention to is the fact that quietly behind the scenes, every major bank, let's say that one more time, every major bank in the country has been launching blockchain programs and products and services, some for their institutional clients, others for their retail accounts. Guys, this includes Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, Schwab, Fidelity. And the Fortune 500 has been all over this too. Starbucks, Nike, Western Union, PayPal, Walmart, Disney, you name it. And investors are starting to pay attention, and they're beginning to flood the market. Let's look into this. Okay, with SAB 121 repealed, opening the doors for banks, why do I believe that Ripple and XRP are at the forefront of this? Well, let's start off with this video. You guys probably remember this video clip, right? This is crazy. Bank after bank after bank. This reaction will be symptomatic of the golden age in which Ripple and the XRP ledger, RLUSD and XRP, will fundamentally dominate the market. This is from Paul Barron. Look at this reaction.
Here's the list of all Ripple partnerships. You can, of course, see all these different, man, this is this is crazy. But these are all, there's SBI Holdings right there, just bank after bank after bank after bank. I mean, there it is, guys. This is probably just what is in, the coffer right now versus the deals that they're probably working today to start to execute this even more. So is this a sleeping giant that could be waiting for an explosion?
And, again, this was 6 years ago when this list of Ripple partnerships got released. Now, can we confirm every single one on here today? It's hard to do so. Okay. I just want to make that transparent. But we do know in the court documents, 1,700 NDAs. We don't know what those contracts were, but they're NDA'd. We know that they were in discussions with like 15 to 30 central banks. I mean, how many partnerships do we think Ripple has signed in the last, 3 years, 4 years? We know that Brad Garlinghouse did say that they signed up more partnerships in the last 6 weeks than in the last 6 months in the US. I mean, there has to be something, there has to be a bigger list out there that we don't know about that Ripple has that names every single partnership that they have with every single major bank. I could just imagine what that list looks like. Now, as we do think about this, let's go over here. Ripple, over the course of the past 4 years, has slowly accumulated hundreds of bank clients and money transmitters as part of the RippleNet ecosystem. Since the US elections, Ripple has signed more clients than they had in the previous 6+ months. And this is from Chad, okay? And, this is something that I have been focused on as well. I put out a post regarding this, right? I said people seem to overlook the partnerships that Medico had prior to Ripple acquiring them. Standard Chartered, BBVA, Societe Generale, Swissquote, Union Bank of the Philippines, Fifth Third Bank, BNY Mellon, Citigroup, UBS, BNP Paribas, JP Morgan, DZ Bank, VP Bank. Then we look at the partnerships that Ripple has with major banks for multiple solutions, right? We have PNC, HSBC, Santander, Standard Chartered, SBI Holdings, Fubon Bank, BMO. I mean, guys, the list goes on here. And, I said that there are probably hundreds or even thousands of partnerships that we don't even know about due to NDAs. It's clear at this point that Ripple is becoming a monster in the banking financial space. All paths lead to XRP, in my opinion, as well, even with ROUSD, considering there are many other stablecoins too, with XRP being a perfect bridge. And yeah, I mean, guys, when we look at Medico is a big focus for me personally. Okay, we're going to come back to that point here in a second, but I want to play this clip here because this was at Davos, and this was Larry Fink. This is the beginning. BlackRock's CEO, Larry Fink, emphasizes that I'm a huge believer of crypto and blockchain and tokenization, and I want the SEC, this is a crazy statement, by the way, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks. BlackRock is now putting the pressure on. This is a big statement, but check this out.
As a huge believer of crypto and blockchain and tokenization, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks. That will simplify things, make things easier. Some of the tax on BlackRock would never have to vote on a proxy vote anymore because every owner of record would be notified through a tokenization of equities. And it would save more money for more people. It would bring down the cost of ownership of stock and bonds. As a huge...
And yeah, I mean, listen, BlackRock has been very vocal on tokenization. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, because again, when we look at Ripple custody, when we look at the Medico acquisition, that was all forged through banks. Like that was all centered around banks. Like Ripple custody is focused on with banks. And Ripple custody, it all starts with custody. Custody is the big driver of everything. We're talking about tokenization use cases. We're talking about DeFi use cases, lending and borrowing use cases around DeFi in terms of institutional DeFi. It all begins with custody. Okay? And Societe Generale, one name on this list. We know back in November that they announced the launch of its USV stablecoin on the XRP ledger in 2025. With Ripple custody powering the integration, USV will benefit from near instant settlement, low fee scalability, and the security of the XRP ledger. We know that this was a very big deal, but this highlighted exactly why Ripple custody is so crucial to focus on and why all of these banking partnerships that they have, even with Medico, are so important to focus on. And remember that Societe Generale is not some small, bank. It's France's third largest bank by total assets after BNP Paribas and Crédit Agricole. Okay? It is also the sixth largest bank in Europe and the world's 18th. When we look at the numbers behind this bank, we can see that their total assets were about 1.48 trillion euros. This is a massive bank. Now again, right behind BNP Paribas. And if you guys don't know, okay, BNP Paribas has, in terms of total assets, about 2.59 trillion euros in total assets. Also a massive, massive bank. Okay, this is one of the world's leading banks, second largest bank in Europe, the eighth largest bank in the world. Now, I bring this up because, again, when we look at the acquisition of Medico back in May of 2023, BNP Paribas was one of the significant players that were signed up. Societe Generale as well, Citi, German banks, DECA Bank. Other clients included DZ Bank, DBS, BBVA, Standard Chartered. And a lot of these players have already said, like, listen, we are using Ripple. We want to use Ripple. And it's crazy. It's crazy because when we look at these deals that Ripple has been making, when we look at these acquisitions and these moves, it's providing us an insight on what's happening behind the scenes. This is going to become one of the largest banking networks out there. And also, don't forget that Morgan Stanley was also at Davos talking about crypto. Morgan Stanley's CEO reveals that they're collaborating with regulators to jump into Bitcoin and crypto transactions. Game on. Big shout out to Bank XRP for this, but check it out.
Business E-Trade obviously is a big part of that, so you got the retail side of it. What do you make of crypto under Trump, this Trump administration, and what may happen and what that speaks? I mean, we're talking about meme coins. I don't know if you're following the Trump coin or the Melania coin and what that says about what's happening here.
Well, I think there is liquidity, and the liquidity, expresses itself in all kinds of different ways. I think the broader question is whether some of this has come of age, whether it's hit escape velocity. And, time is the friend. The longer it trades and, perception becomes reality. For us, the equation is really around whether we as a highly regulated financial institution can act as transactors, sort of follow the money. And there we'll be working with Treasury and the other regulators to sort of figure out how we can offer that in a safe way.
And again, it's all about the regulatory side of things. With SAB 121, that has completely changed the game. And even over here, with E-Trade, back on January 2nd, we saw 1.3 trillion asset manager Morgan Stanley's E-Trade reportedly explores offering crypto trading. Again, these big players are starting to make big moves. And also remember that Morgan Stanley has stated that adopting a Ripple-like payment system could shorten settlement periods, speed up transactions, and reduce the risk of fraud. Morgan Stanley considers Ripple to be a leading international payment alternative to SWIFT. Also, over here, this is from advisor.morganstanley.com. We note that XRP's consensus protocol system is comparatively much more efficient than Bitcoin, though we would add that Ripple have created a payment system that requires a centralized intermediary to check transactions, so isn't directly comparable to the Bitcoin system and is closer to what traditional banks do today, which is exactly why the banks want to utilize Ripple. They want to tap in to Ripple. They want to utilize XRP. This is also why when I say Bank of America is ready, Bank of America is ready. And you know what's crazy about all of this is I said the other day on my Twitter, right? Even here, this is Ripple saying that US banks will start wanting to use XRP for cross-border transactions. Every single one of these banks, when we read what they're trying to do with crypto, it's all around transactions. Bank of America said transactions. Morgan Stanley is saying transactions. All of the big players are now getting in line. And when we think about that, okay, the biggest names out there around finance are getting in line. Every single small, medium-sized name out there is now looking at what Morgan Stanley and Bank of America are doing, and they're saying, we have to get on this train. We have to get ready for this because this is the next big thing. So we need to prepare for this, and Ripple and XRP are at the forefront of this. So XRP holders, definitely prepare for some big moves to be made going forward, because I do expect all of this to erupt massively. We are about to witness a significant shift in the entire landscape of crypto. And it's no longer just about retail. No, we're focused on the institutions. We're focused on the big banks. We're focused on what they are about to do, because all it really takes is one big player to offer crypto transactions through their application, through their banking app, right? All of a sudden, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of clients onboarded to crypto like that. That's crazy. That's why I'm focused on this. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on, because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.